Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Sodanandana Vrajarandana Yashodanandana Vrajarandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Sodanandana Vrajarandana Yashodanandana Vrajarandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Sri Radha Madhava Ki Jai. Nitalila Vishram Supadas Divine Grace to the AC Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananda Guri Vaishnavanda Ki Sadguru Swami Prabhu Ki Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Sikho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Go Shama Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhana Ki Brajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Bolo Sri Sri Krishna Baldev Ki Jai Gau Premanandi. All glories to the Assembly. All glories to the Assembly. All glories to the Assembly. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Glories to you, Srila Prabhupada. Krishna. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 9, answers by citing the Lord's version, text number 22. Manishitanu mama lokavalokanam yad upasrutya rahasi chakarta paramam tapaha Minishitanu mama lokavalokanam yadupasrutya rahasi chakarta paramam tapa Manishitanu mama lokavalokanam yadupasrutya rahasi chakarta paramatapa Manishitanu mama lokavalokanam yadupasrutya rahasi chakarta paramam tapa Ladies, anyone else? Manishita, ingenuity, anubhava, perception. I am this, mama, my, loka, abode, avalokanam, seeing by actual experience. Yet, because, upashrutya, hearing, rahasi, in great penance, chakarta, having performed, paramam, highest, tapaha, penance. Translation: the highest perfectional ingenuity is the personal perception of my abodes, and this has been possible because of your submissive attitude in the performance of severe penance according to my order. Translation, please repeat. The highest perfectional ingenuity is the personal perception of my abodes. And this has been possible because of your submissive attitude in the performance of severe penances according to my order. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The highest perfectional stage of life is to know the Lord by actual perception, by the grace of the Lord. This can be attained by everyone who is willing to discharge the act of devotional service to the Lord as enjoined in the revealed scriptures that are standard and accepted by bona fide acharyas and spiritual masters. For example, the Bhagavad Gita is the approved Vedic literature accepted by all great acharyas such as Shankara, Ramanuja, Madhva, Chaitanya, Viswanath, Baladev, Siddhanta Saraswati, and many others. In that Bhagavad Gita, the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna asks that one always be mindful of him, always be his devotee, and always worship him only, and always bow down before the Lord. And by doing so, one is sure to go back to home, back to Godhead, without any doubt. In other places also, the same order is there, that one should give up all other engagements and fully surrender unto the Lord without hesitation. And the Lord will give such a devotee all protection. These are the secrets of attaining the highest perfectional stage. Lord Brahma exactly followed these principles without any superiority complex, and thus he attained the highest perfectional stage of experiencing the abode of the Lord and the Lord himself with all his paraphernalia. Impersonal realization of the effulgence of the Lord's body is not the highest perfectional stage, nor is the stage of Paramatma realization. The word Manishita is significant. Everyone is falsely or factually proud of his so-called learning. But the Lord says the highest perfectional stage of learning is to know him in his abode, devoid of all illusion. Vinishithanubhavoyam mama lokavalokanam yadupasrityasrahasi chakarta paramantapa. The highest perfectional ingenuity is the personal perception of my abodes, and this has been possible because of your submissive attitude in the performance of severe penance according to my order. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Didati Swapadandikam Adadanastranandantai Ridam Yache Puna Puna Srimad Rupa Vadam Bujo Dulisyam Janmajanmani Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakti Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Panchakalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhu vaja patitanam bhavanebhyo Krishnavebhyo namo namah. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, with my eyes closed shut, but my spiritual master has opened my eyes with the torchlight of transcendental knowledge. Therefore I offer my humble obeisances at his lotus feet. So here in this chapter, Lord Brahma personally meets the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In fact, it's described how the Lord shakes hands with him. So this shaking hand process is very, very old, since Anadi Kal. And now the Lord begins to address Lord Brahma. And here he's telling him that because of your submissive attitude and performance of penance, I have revealed myself to you. This is the highest realization. Here is said that it's interesting, Prabhupada uses the word ingenuity. Probably none of you even know what that means. But it means to be very, very clever. But the highest cleverness is to know the Supreme Personality of Godhead and be able to see Him face to face. Prabhupada explains that we have to consult the authorized scriptures. He specifically mentions Bhagavad Gita, and it's interesting, he tells that we have to follow the acharyas. All throughout Prabhupada's books, he quotes this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahajano Jaina Gata Sapanta. We have to follow the path chalked out by the great authorities. Specifically, there's 12 Mahajans mentioned. Prahlad, Lord Shiva, Dhruva, etc. And then he points out that we have to accept the Vedic literature. Because if we want to know those things that are beyond our experience, our only source of information is Shastra. Because the Lord, He's known as Adhokshara, beyond our sensual perception. So to understand the Lord, we have to consult Shastra. Just like Prabhupada gives the example that if we want to know who is our father, then the only source of information is the mother. Only a mother can say, this is your father, for sure. So the Vedic literature is like our mother, giving us information of our father. Somehow we lost our father. So Vedic literature is like our kind mother to give us information of our father. And Prabhupada specifically mentions Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita means the song of God. It is words spoken directly by the Lord. Just like we're reading Srimad Bhagavatam this morning. Srimad Bhagavatam, those two words Prabhupada translates very wonderfully. The beautiful story of the personality of Godhead. The beautiful story of the personality of Godhead. The Srimad Bhagavatam is about the Lord. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, spoken by the Lord. So we want to know the Lord. The best way to know is these two scriptures. Especially he mentions Bhagavad Gita, and he says that it is accepted. Very interesting. First one Prabhupada uses is Shankara. Later he's going to discuss about that also. But Shankara, Ramanuja, Madhva, Chaitanya, Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur, Baladev Vidyabhushan, and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and others. And Bhagavad Gita explains that one should become the devotee of Krishna. Just like the government is always coming out with 5-point plan, 8-point plan, so many point plans, and they all fail. But Krishna has got infallible 4-point plan. I think everybody knows there's two verses very similar in Bhagavad Gita. Manmana bhava madbhakto banyaji mam namaskuru. This is Krishna's 4-point plan. Manmana, fix your mind on me. Bhava madbhakto, become my devotee. Banyaji, worship me. Namaskuru, and offer obeisance to me. Then certainly you will come to me without fail. This is Krishna's very simple 4-point plan. If we simply follow this 4-point plan, then we'll reach success in our spiritual life. Very simple. And throughout Bhagavad Gita, he says, Bahunam janmanamanti jnanavan, Bahunam. Bahunam means many. Janma. Bahunam janmanam. After many births. Ante Gyanavan. When one becomes actually Gyanavan, full of knowledge. Huh? And what is full of knowledge? Oh, Vasudev, sir. Oh, Vasudev, Krishna is everything. This is the end of all knowledge. To understand. So we have to simply follow this simple process of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Throughout the Gita, just like in the last chapter of Gita, he says, Bhaktya Maham Abhijanati, that I can only be known by bhakti, devotional service. So therefore he's praising Lord Brahma that he's performed great tapasya. But he says attitude of submission. Just like we know one other fellow, he's very famous for his tapasya. In fact, nobody has done tapasya like him in the past or in the future. Will anyone ever do that? Hiranyakashipu. He was able to keep his life air circulating within his bones. His whole body was eaten away. Lord Brahma praised him and said, no one has ever done this before. Nowhere in the future anyone will be able to do this. So powerful, so severe tapasya, standing for 100 years on the tips of his toes. Even the ants ate away all his flesh and blood and muscle, everything. Just bones were left. But he was not doing this tapasya in attitude of devotion. He was very proud. Pride is the precursor of fall. Pride comes before the fall. So we become puffed up with our wealth, with our opulence, with our family, with our knowledge also. Just means we're putting our chin up for Maya to come and give us a big kick. We become puffed up, we put our head, nose up high in the sky, right? So Maya can come with her combat boots and give us a big kick. We have seen over and over, every time we've been puffed up, or we've seen others who became puffed up somehow or other, Maya came and gave them a big kick. Just like there was one fellow in England named Stephen Hawking. He wrote so many books how God is a bogus thing. But Maya came and gave him a big kick. Now he's no longer, we don't know what type of body he's gone to. We don't want to know what type of body he's in. So we have to be submissive. This is the main thing. And this is Krishna's 4 points. Manmana, fix your mind on me. Krishna is very interesting. If we study Bhagavad Gita, we see that Krishna didn't speak Bhagavad Gita to some sadhu performing penances high up in the Himalayas, in the snow, or sitting in fire in the summertime. He didn't even speak Bhagavad Gita to a Brahmin. We would expect that Krishna would speak the most spiritual knowledge to a Brahmin. No. Brahmin is engaged in spiritual cultivation and helping others in their spiritual life. This would be the ideal person to speak to. But he chose Arjuna, who's a Kshatriya. Kshatriya means he has so much responsibility. We are just responsible for one family, and we're breaking our head trying to maintain one family. And Kshatriya means he's in charge of all the families of the kingdom. How much responsibility? People are thinking that when I'm old, then I'll study Bhagavad Gita. That's later. Just like Prahlad's friends, they told Prahlad Maharaj, why are you speaking all this nonsense about Bhagwan? Now we're young, let us play and have a good time. We all want to go to the cricket game. And just like one night we were on Govardhan Prikrama. It was the middle of April, so it was like 40 degrees in the daytime. And my wife had brought all the girls from the Vaishnava Academy for Girls in Alachua. And they said, we can only do it at night. It's too hot in the day. And it wasn't far from Purnima, but there was nobody on the Prikrama path that night. And we did it in the nighttime, so it was AC first class. And finally we got to one of my favorite places, Surbikund, where Surbi interceded for Lord Brahma. This is a trick in a spiritual life. We need someone to intercede. Therefore, we approach the lotus feet of the spiritual master. So all our offenses are removed at Surbikund. And there's a little off the Prikrama Marg, a beautiful forest is there. So my favorite thing is that we should just be quiet. For half a minute or 1 minute, just be quiet and experience the peacefulness of Braj. So I told all the girls to be quiet. As soon as they were quiet, in the next town we heard all this noise. Boom! Boom! All this fireworks were going off. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I looked at the director of the school, Lakshmi Moni, and she said to me, Pakistan lost. So then I understood why there was nobody on the Prikrama Marg. Everybody was watching the cricket game that night. So now I'm young, let me enjoy life, have a good time. So then Prahlad said, but look, you spend your life having a good time, then you get married, then you're thinking, oh, I have to maintain my family, I have to work, I have to get money, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to get all my children married. Oh, what am I going to do? I don't have any time for anything, spiritual life. Then at the end of your life, after you wasted your whole life in sense gratification, then you say, now that's the time. But when you're old, you see, just sitting around doing nothing. We see the old people just sitting and waiting for death, that's all. And now they can't hear every time, When I was temple president of Vrindavan temple, so many times, old guy would come in, he said, now I'm retired, I want to join the ashram. I said, what? He's walking with a cane. What is he going to do in ashram? All these young brahmacharis running around, we'll just have 20 brahmacharis taking care of him. Now when the body is totally useless, now I want to offer it to God. Before, when I was useful, I didn't want to serve God. But now that I'm useless, now I want to serve God. No, Prahlad said, from the very beginning you have to cultivate Krishna consciousness. From the very beginning. So therefore, Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. He's filled with so many responsibilities, so much on his brain, but Bhagavad Gita was spoken to him because it's practical. Krishna told Arjuna, he didn't tell him to give up his fighting, give up his responsibilities. He said, Mahamanusmara yujyacha. Mahamanusmara yujyacha. You just perform your duty. Your Kshatriya, your duty is to fight now. But Mahamanusmara, always remembering me. And our acharyas have given Prabhupada calls a crude example. Suppose one lady, she's got a lover beyond her husband. So all day long, she's doing her duties in the house very carefully, even more carefully. She doesn't want her husband to suspect. So she's doing everything very carefully, more carefully even. But in her mind, she's always thinking, when in the night we will meet, when in the night we will meet. Acharyas have given this example. So we do our duties very nicely. Just like some people tell me, it says, I like to make money. So the devotees are telling you in Maya. No, you make money. That's all right. But you use that money to build beautiful temples for Krishna, to publish literature about Krishna, to have Jagannath Rath Yatra. We don't say you give up your business and give up your job. No, you make lots of money. Go ahead, make it. That's what you want to do. Then do it for Krishna. Mamanusmara Yujaja. You do your duty, but you remember me. And how to remember by giving some contribution to help spread Krishna consciousness. Or there was one Muslim who became a devotee in Braj named Ras Khan. And he's given another very simple example how we can always remember Krishna, even we're doing our duties. Sabka suniya kai na kichu rahiye imi babagar mein, kariye neem vrat sachai liye jinte tariye mansagar mein. Sabko miliye durbhava bina rahiye sansanta ujagar mein, govinda hi nyum bhajiye jaminagari ko chit gagar mein. Govinda hi yum bhajiye jaminagari kachit gagarme. He says, Sabka suniye kayina kichu. Listen to everything, but don't say a word. This should be the law for the internet. Listen to everything, don't say a word, remain this way in the world. Just remain peaceful. Don't get in big internet fights. Sabka suniye kayina kichu rahiye emiba bagarmi. Remain this way in this world. Kariye neem vrat sachai liye jinte tariye mansagarmi. Faithfully follow your vows and vrats, they will carry you across the mind ocean. Sabko miliye durbhava bina, greet everyone without ill will. Rahiye sansanta ujagrami, and remain in the light of the true sense. Govinda hi yum bhajiye, yum. If you go to Braj and you ask directions, we're trying to find some pilgrimage place, they will say yum or yum. You go straight, then yum, then yum. So how to worship Govinda? Govinda hi yum bhajiye. How? Yum bhajiye. Jaminagari kochita gagame. The village girl has got the jug on her head. She's walking, talking, doing everything, but her meditation is on the jug on her head. She's walking, she's talking. What happened in your house last night? Your sas was screaming like anything. Walking, talking, doing everything, but mind is always on the jug on the head. So the same way we do our service in this world, but always remember Krishna. Therefore Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, someone who was very, very busy, because it is practical. If I tell you have to give up everything, go live in the Himalayas and sit in the ice in the winter time and put fires around, you go to Kumbh Mela, you see all the sadhus with little cow dung cakes, even they have a little bowl on top of their head with the cow dung cake burning away. Then nobody will go. If we can tell you, come to the Sunday feast, we're not going to feed you anything, then who's going to come? We don't say that. Krishna consciousness is practical. Spiritual life is practical. Therefore, we have to follow the authorities. In Bhagavad Gita, every chapter, no matter what even Krishna describes the eightfold yoga system to Arjuna. Arjuna says too difficult. Then Krishna says, Yoginam api sarvesham madgatein antaratmana sradavan bhajate yo mam same yukta tamo mataha. Yoginam api sarvesham, all the yogis. Yoginam api sarve madgatein antaratmana, those who have surrendered to me, bhajate Sradavan bhajate jo mam, they're worshipping me with Srada, faith. Same yuktatama. Yoga means yog, yukt, to link. Same yuktatama, that is the highest link. The link of love is the highest link. So they're the most united with me. You're describing the whole yoga system. He says devotion. So we have to, Prabhupada explains, we have to follow these principles. And thus we'll reach the highest realization. The impersonal realization of the effulgence of the Lord is not the highest perfectional stage, nor is the stage of Paramatma realization. The Brahma Jyoti is simply the effulgence is coming from Krishna's form. So ultimately, Bhagavan has got a form. Prabhupada describes some very important people, they have written about Bhagavad Gita, that it is not to the Supreme Lord Krishna that one has to surrender, but the unborn eternal within Krishna. But Krishna's inside outside is not different. It's very simple. Bhagavad Gita is there. Arjuna is standing on the chariot. Krishna is standing on the chariot. We can see Krishna. Krishna is saying, you surrender to me. If I tell you, bring me a glass of water, and you pour it on the wall behind me, what type of intelligence is that? I said, bring me a glass of water, and you pour it on the wall behind me. All is one. The wall is one, everything. Just like somebody was telling me the other day, if you gave one example, I didn't give the example. I was talking about Prabhupada was walking on the beach in Bombay. One time I was very fortunate to be on the Bombay beach walks with Prabhupada. And he was smashing. He said, just like here, we're walking on the land, not on the sea and the ocean. You can say it is all one. It is all atoms. It is all one. So then why not walk on the sea or the air? We're walking on the sand. Huh? How can you say it is all one? Just like if we ask any child, what is this? They'll say head. What is this? Nose, kan, mu, chati, pet, arm, leg. That whole thing, if we say body, then we'll point to the whole thing like this. But if we say, what is this? We'll say hand. So he told Dr. Patel, he said, you're intelligence less than child. You say it is all one. All right. Then in the body, there's so many holes. So why you put the food here? Why don't you put... It is all one. This was not my example, this was Prabhupada's example. Just like our Bangalore here is filled with hills, so sometimes we see a big mountain in the distance and it looks sort of bluish purplish color. So we say, oh, the mountain is blue and purplish. It is like a big cloud. As we drive closer, suddenly we see that it's a big hill and it's a little greenish in color. When we finally get right up to the mountain, then we see there's trees and gilari and deer and flowers and trees and so many things are there. Streams are flowing. From a distance, it's just a big cloud. From bluish, purplish color. We get close, we see the greenish hill. When we get there, we see so many things are there. Just like Prabhupada gave the example, there was one village, the government laid down tracks to the train. The village, very far village, never had a train before. So nobody had ever seen the train. Just like sometimes I used to go to Nepal, our temple president, it took 2 days to get to the highway before you could see, you could catch the bus to go to Kathmandu. It was 2 days walking through the forest. So he lived in his village like that. First time he came to the highway, he saw a bus. He said, oh my God, what does this thing eat? So they'd never seen train. So everybody was waiting for the train. So naturally it was Indian Railway, so train was late. So some people gave up their patience and said, no such thing as train, it's just a useless thing. So they went back to the village, no such thing as train. They told all the villagers, it's just a bogus thing, no such thing as train. Some of the people, they waited a little longer, then they saw, and it became dark, they saw light in the distance. So they ran back to the village. We have seen the train, it is a big light. Other people, they were a little more patient, they waited and waited, then they saw a big long iron thing was there and sound, chuku 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 chuku. They ran back. We have seen the train. It is a big light and a big sound and a big iron thing. For those who had the most patience, they waited. They saw the train, they met the engineer, the ticket collector, everybody, and all the people on the train. So like that, aim is the same, just like everybody's looking at the mountain, but according to our position, we have different realization of the mountain. Uh, so same, everybody's waiting for the train. Somebody said no such thing. Somebody said there's a big light. Somebody said there's a big sound and iron. Somebody saw everybody, saw the train and everything. So like that, some people say there is no God. God is dead. One time I was preaching, going door to door, distributing books. One gentleman was there when he understood that I was preaching about God. He said, "My friends tell me God is dead." I said, "You saw the body?" You went to the funeral? Huh? Did you see the body? You say he's dead. Did you saw? They always say, "You did see God." He said, "You saw the dead body?" Yeah. Some people, they say God is a great light. The impersonal Mayavadis. We merge in that light to become one with God. And the yogis tell us that they're seeing God within the heart. That God is within the heart of the heart. But the actual realization is Bhagavan. Seeing God face to face, seeing all his abodes like Lord Brahma is experiencing here. This is the final realization, Prabhupada is explaining. So then Prabhupada says this word, Manishita, is significant. Everyone is falsely proud of his so-called learning. It is not by learning that we can understand God. We see that we're simply following these 2-3 books. We have our BBC, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. And we see those who become involved in so many books, eventually they leave Krishna consciousness. They get too much puffed up with all their knowledge and think that these people, they don't know anything. But knowledge, great knowledge is not the qualification. Here was submissiveness. Just like in Ramanujacharya's life, there was one great scholar who was the Raj Purohit. And if you were challenged by him and you were unable to defeat him, then you had to pay so much money. So Ramanuja saw his guru was crying. He asked him why. And he told that, I've been defeated by the king's pandit. I owe so much money. I don't have so much money. What can I do? So Ramanuja, he was just a young boy. He thought, I will challenge this fellow. So the king and the Purohit were walking one day. So Ramanuja came, he scooped up a handful of sand. He said, how many grains of sand in my hand? You're a big Pandit, tell me how many grains of sand in my hand. So the Pandit became insulted. Who is this little boy? How is he? Because learning makes you very proud. He's so proud he's making this poor Brahmin cry, And the king said, wait a minute. The rules of debate are that if you can't answer your question, then the opponent who raised the question has to answer the question. So the king asked the young boy, how many grains of sand in your head? He said, a handful. So he was puffed up by his learning, so he got defeated by a little boy. Even more, there was one Nata Muni. One of the Alvars is Nata Muni, and his disciple was Yamunacharya. And same thing, the king, he had a great Digvijay Pandit named, I think it was Kolahala. And if you couldn't pay back, if you were defeated and you couldn't pay back the debt, he became so puffed up that you would have to be killed. He was ready to kill Brahmins to prove his superiority. So Yamunacharya, he saw that Nat Muni was crying one day and he understood he'd been defeated, he owed money, he couldn't pay, he was going to be killed. So Yamunacharya went to the king's palace and he told the king, I want to debate with Kolahala. And the king and queen there, who's this little guy? He said, no, I want to debate with the king, the Digvijay Pandit. So they gave him a nice place to stay and arranged the next day at 10 o'clock in the morning, everyone will meet and have a big debate. So Ramanuja was doing his bhajan in the morning, sitting on his guest house. From the queen and king and queen were walking on their terrace, they could see. And the queen said, what happens if your Raj Pandit is defeated? So I'll give him half of my kingdom. The queen was shocked. I'm going to hold you to your word. Yeah. So 10 o'clock came, everybody was there. The Pandit had, because one who asks the first question, he has the upper edge. So the king said, he's a little guy, all right, let him ask. So Yamunacharya said, our king, no, your mother was not a barren woman. Now he has to prove that his mother had no child. And he's there. He said, wants me to insult my mother. That's, if you want to start a fight in India, you insult someone's mother. He wants me to insult the mother. Take him out. Have him beaten. The king said, wait a minute. The rule is he has to defeat his proposal. So the king looked at Yamunacharya and he said, well, according to Shastra, a woman who only has one child, she's considered barren. Because previous used to have so many children. Now they make propaganda, don't have children. We too are one. Huh? So one means barren. Oh, all right. Next question. Our king is most pious. All right, now he wants me to prove that you're impious. He wants me to insult you. Have him beaten. The king his interest was piqued. Now he's got to prove that I'm impious. He said, now our king is undoubtedly very pious, but he has to accept the karma of 1/6 of the population. 1/6 of the population. Very dangerous to become a king. All right, third question. He said, our queen mother is most chaste. All right, now he wants me to consult the queen. Have him beaten. And the queen, now her interest is piqued. How he's going to prove that she's unchaste. So he said, our queen mother is undoubtedly very chaste, but the king is a representative of 5 different demigods. She's associating with 5 different men, And so she called, the queen herself said, Alabandar, Alabandar, he has conquered. So Yamunacharya's other name is Alabandar. So he became puffed up with his learning. And he was crushed by this little child. Then the queen said, all right, you told half your kingdom, so he gave half the kingdom. Now, he had been trained in austerities and penances and learning. Now he was a king. We know everybody dreaming that if I become a king, I'll enjoy like anything. Just like Prabhupada always quotes that one, Raj Kumar, don't die. Because now you're enjoying like anything. After your death, you'll suffer like anything. So don't die. So he's enjoying like anything. He forgot all about his spiritual life. Nath Muni was very upset. He was saved, but now his disciple is lost. So on his deathbed, he told one of Yamunacharya's godbrothers, you go there and give him a special message from me. So he tried to meet with Yamunacharya, but now he's a big king. We know when we go on life membership, there's a big sign. Do not enter. Beware of the dog. The chokidar tells us he's out of station. Koi aayega chanda lene ke liye usko botawa ke out of station. Very difficult. So, but Yamunacharya, he was suffering from some digestive problem in his stomach. So I can't remember what was the name of his godbrother just now. I've forgotten the part of the story. But anyway, he knew that he had this stomach problem, so he went to the kitchen. He couldn't come in the palace, so he went to the kitchen and brought some herbs and told the cook, you cook this, it's very good for the king. So gradually, Yamunacharya, his stomach problem was going away. He was getting very healthy. He was very happy. So one day, the sadhu didn't come to the kitchen. As soon as the plate came, Yamunacharya is looking for that herb. He said, call the cook. He said, where's that nice herb you cook every day? So I don't know, some sadhu brings it every day. He said it was good for you. He didn't come today. When he comes again, you call him here. So after a couple of days, he came. He said, all right, you're in big trouble. King wants to see you. So then he came there to the king. He said, you don't remember your guru, Nath Muni? He has left a great treasure for you. Kings are always interested in treasure, right? Huh? A great treasure for me? Yes. But it's very carefully kept. It's between 7 rivers. I mean, in the middle of a river. There's 7 walls around it. It's protected by a great snake. He said, I will take my army. He said, no, you can only take this. If you go with your army, you'll be destroyed. You can only go alone to take this treasure. So he brought Yamunacharya to Srirangam, surrounded by a river, 7 walls, and protected by a great snake. When he saw the Lord, then he realized all his previous time with Nath Muni. And he realized, what have I done? I just wasted my life. That's what we know, that famous song of poem Prabhupada always quotes to Yamunacharya. When I think of sex life with a woman, I want to spit. Because he was totally lost in everything. So then he became the great Alvar Sri Yamunacharya. So great learning sometimes makes us very puffed up. Brahma's qualification was that he was humble. He did tapasya, tapa. This last word of the verse is tapa, because that was, he heard the order of the Lord. These 2 syllables joined together, tapa, and he performed great penances and austerities. And in the end, he was able to meet the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. So we want to very humbly follow what is our great tapasya in this age of Kali? Simply we have to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So any questions or comments? Everyone fell asleep in my class. Yes, Mataji. Oh, Manmana, fix your mind on me. Bhava Bhakta, become my devotee. Madhyaji Mam, worship me. Mam Namaskaru, pay your obeisances to me. This is Krishna's 4-point program, very simple. There's 2 verses in Bhagavad Gita saying, Manmana Bhava Bhakta, Madhyaji Mam Namaskaru, Mam Evaishri Satyam Te. Yes. So fix your mind on me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your obeisances to me. Without fail, you go back to home, back to God.